Well, those are the expectations, but let's welcome Ashish Kejriwal, who joins us on the show, Director of Research, Metals and Mining at Nuvama. Hi, Ashish. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, before we get to the expectations of the past quarter, the past few days, Chinese steel prices have corrected. Could you quantify what has been the pricing correction out there? And what is the average you are working with for FY24 with regard to the domestic steel prices? How far away is it from current steel prices domestically?
Yeah, hi, good morning, Nigel. Thanks for inviting me to the show. Yeah, as you rightly pointed out that China steel prices have corrected. That has corrected more than around $50 right now, $50 per ton in last 15-20 days. But at the same time, you have to look at that. One should not look only steel prices as a standalone. One should look at in conjunction with falling raw material prices also, which is iron ore as well as coking coal. So coking coal prices have declined by more than $125 in the similar time frame. And similarly, iron ore prices, global prices, that have also fallen by around $15. So net, your margins, that is Chinese steel producers' margins have not declined in last 1 month, despite fall in steel prices. So that I think one should take into account the margin front rather than only the realization front for any steel companies.
Okay,
And
sure. Ashish, just to drill it down to specifics, because I think that's what our viewers would also like. As Nigel was pointing out, for something like a Tata Steel, right, the EBITDA per ton is expected to rise quite a bit in the standalone business from 11,000 to about 13,000. Do you think that gives it a fillip in the near term? Could that lead to an upside in the stock? And what's your recommendation on Tata Steel itself?
yeah, so in Tata Steel, in fact, we are somewhat ahead of the numbers which you have given. We think that they can do something like 14,000 rupees plus per ton in this fourth quarter. See, one has to look at in Tata Steel, third quarter was somewhat weaker than what other steel producers have reported. And it's not because of their gross margins, it's because of their other expenditure, which was somewhat higher than what we have expected or the street has expected. So I think that anomaly will get corrected in this fourth quarter, and Tata should report 14,000 per ton plus in fourth quarter, and that should lead to, you can say, somewhat higher uptick in the stock price also, because in the last 1 year it has been somewhat underperformer because of Europe. Yes, Europe will continue to make losses at higher losses, but by looking at the spot prices, I think we can fairly see that Europe EBITDA per ton loss should bottom out in fourth quarter. So net, yes, Tata Steel, we think in the short term, around the results or post the results, the stock can give some rally.
Okay, all right. Ashish, what's the view on, JSPL? Because long prices at one point of time, they were looking very strong. Now HRC prices have moved up at a faster clip. What's your approach to the stock? Valuation, it always enjoys some comfort. And they have a big, ambitious plan as well to scale up. Your view of the stock at current reckoning?
Sure. So, we are very positive on JSPL in the mid to long term. No doubt about it, because the kind of ambitious plans which they have, the kind of balance sheet they have, the kind of growth projects, as well as you can say margin expansion plans they have. So mid to long term, very, very positive, no doubt about it. Short term, yes, because of the pressure on the long product prices, stock is somewhat, moving here and there. But my sense is it's a seasonal in nature, because long product prices have increased faster earlier, which is somewhat normalizing now. And in first and second quarter, we know that it's a seasonality which will play, and long product prices could be here and there only. It should not move up. But even at 57, 58,000 rupees per ton, it's on a much higher side. So my sense here again in JSPL, fourth quarter, my numbers will be higher than what the numbers which you are highlighting on your screen. I think they can do something like 13,000 rupees per ton. And, short term long product prices can be under pressure, but again, in second half, we can see, surge in the prices, or at least in the margins front. So we are comfortable on the margins rather than on the prices.
All right, that's actually Investec's, EBITDA per ton that we have put up for you on the screen. Ashish, final question before we let you go. Some reports have been indicating that maybe the JSW Group will be looking at buying a stake in various automakers. A couple of rumors have been doing the rounds. What are you factoring in? My initial chats with various people from the management have suggested, the indications are that it's unlikely to be via the listed entity. What are you factoring in? Do you think it'll be via the listed entity? If yes, what kind of a number are you working with? Or will you view it negatively with regard to capital allocation? Your take.
So I'm with you in that, Nigel. We don't think that this foray into the sector or auto sector will be through JSW Steel. It could be through JSW Group. So in case if it is through JSW Steel, obviously we'll treat it as somewhat negative because of the capital allocation. But I seriously doubt that it will be through JSW Steel. It should be from the group side. So
Indeed.
we are not.
Okay, all right. Got it. Thanks a lot for that, Ashish, for joining in and filling us in with all of those details. We look forward to chatting up with you all through the metal earnings season. But as you said, you're pretty confident on companies like JSPL from here on. Talking about steel, well, let's focus on another iron ore